How much do you actually need to study in the UK? I get asked this question a lot. And before I go into the numbers, I first want to say that numbers can be very distracting. And I want you to let your zeal to pursue your career and academic goals exceed the discouragement that might come from the numbers, if that makes sense. So, because the truth is that there's a lot of steps to take even before you start making any payments. At least you will get your admission first before making payments, and things can change. You could get a scholarship, but if you feel discouraged now because, oh, they said it's too expensive or something, you wouldn't even know that. You wouldn't even try. You probably wouldn't even get the scholarship. And also, you might think you have a plan now, but things change. Exchange rate can just be laughing at you in the corner. So there's that also. It's okay that you want to plan, because it's just wisdom to plan ahead and to know what to expect. However, don't let it discourage you. Just take one step at a time. Now let's go into the numbers. The first fee you're going to be paying is the student deposit. So each school, depending on your school, they ask for a certain amount of money from your total tuition before proceeding with the necessary steps. And usually it ranges from £2,500 to £5,000. Now, I usually would advise that you go for a higher deposit, not higher school fees, so higher deposit. Because, for instance, if your school fees is £15,000 and your school asks you to pay 5,000 first as a deposit, you know that you only have £10,000 left to pay. And for me, I would pick that over paying 3,000 first or 2,005 first, and then still having like 12,000 or 12,500 left to pay. Go for a school that is affordable in terms of the tuition. But if you can pay a higher chunk for your deposit, go ahead with it. It would pay you at the end of the day, trust me. Anyway, so your student deposits, you have to pay that before you can be offered your CAS. And as soon as you get your CAS, then you begin to process your visa application. And then you have to also pay. So you pay for your visa fee and your IHS fee. That's IHS fee is like the health insurance scheme. You pay for your IHS, you pay £776 for IHS, and for visa you pay £524 for your visa. Yeah, for your visa application before you proceed. So after that, or while you're doing that, you should also get ready with your proof of fund. And for your proof of fund, this is how it's calculated. So the leftover from your tuition fee that is unpaid. Say you paid 5,000 for your deposit, so you have 10,000 left, £10,000 left unpaid. So that £10,000 plus £1,136 if you stay outside London times 9. So £1,136 times 9 is going to be your living expenses. So it is assumed that you spend an average of £1,136 per month. And the average number of months you should spend as a student is 9 months. So times 9, that's if you stay outside London. If you stay in London, you're going to be paying £1,483 per month, of course, times 9. If I'm going to advise you, there's nothing in London. I know people in London might have a different opinion, and I think that's where I used to be when I stayed in Lagos, and people outside Lagos be like, what's inside Lagos? There's nothing in London. So if you can, just stay outside London. I stayed in Manchester. I went to school in Manchester, and it was the best. It was the best. There are so many other nice places like Birmingham, Leeds, Manchester. Please don't stay in London. There's nothing there. Just bills. Just, just take it from me, okay? But if you still want to stay in London, you're going to be paying for your living cost. That would be £1,483 times 9 plus the leftover from your tuition fee. So this is the expected amount of money that you should have in your bank account as at the time you're moving into the country. Does that make sense? So I usually advise that you convert your money to pounds. If you have like the money on ground, convert it to pounds, because exchange rates can be very funny and people had to go through a lot, especially when I was in school. When it was time to begin to pay like the rest of the school fees, people had issues with the exchange because exchange rates ruined the money, and what was left was equals to nothing in pounds. So if you can change your money, if you can convert your money to pounds or dollars before starting your process, even better for you. Now for the flight tickets, don't be like me. Okay, I booked my flight like 2 days before, and I also, because of my parents, I also had to go through a particular airline, so it was crazy expensive. But I know somebody that got plane ticket for, I think, less than 500,000 naira. But this person booked like 6 months. That's why it's good to plan early so that you can get the best rates. I really don't have an idea of what the plane ticket is like, but at least budget £1,000, 1,000 to 1,005 for plane tickets. I hope this information was helpful for you. Feel free to share it with other people that might also need this, and have a lovely time. Bye.